Today is I'm going to say the 2nd of October, 2024. And I left doing the Jersey Evening Post's cryptic crossword until quite late in the day. And then I did it in about 14 minutes, which included having to look up a Moroccan port because I knew that it was an anagram of the word diagram with a letter missing, but I didn't know that it was called whatever it's called, Agadir or something. So I did things slightly differently in that I got the first two cross clues and then I did the down ones that connected. And I just attacked it all in a slightly more clue solvey kind of way and a less wishy-washy way. I don't think I've got any better at it. I think it was quite easy, but I was quite pleased. So one across, get under a bouncer and get no runs. Well, you duck under a bouncer and to score no runs in cricket. That's the cricket thing, bouncer. A short ball that comes sort of head high and you duck under them. Or hook them if you're any good. I'd duck under them. Get no runs means duck. If you score a duck, it means you've scored no runs. So that's nice and straightforward. Shocked, having been in front at the beginning. Having been in front is led. And that's a thing that's cropped up a few times now. And I thought, yeah, having been in front at the beginning, so you start led and you were startled. So that's fair enough. Then I thought I'd do some down clues. I guess I'd change into camouflage is simply an anagram of I guess I'd. Those are 8 letters followed by change. And you just, the moment there's an apostrophe in there, you think, right, but why have you removed some letters? It's in order to make an anagram work. And that's disguise. 2 down. Found not guilty. That's obvious. Oh, sorry, it says, see, that's what I did the first time, is I read it as found not guilty. And then I thought, the answer is clear, but that doesn't make sense. And then I read it again, and it says find not guilty. So I'm going to blame my varifocals for the fact that I'm not always seeing the words the way they are written. Could be my other shortcomings. 2 down. Pantyhose and shirt out of sight. I don't think I got that straight away. So we'll skip that one. I obviously think I know what it is now, but I didn't get it straight away. 5 down. Speaking out concerning literature, I got fairly quickly as reading aloud. Concerning literature, reading out, speaking out concerning literature. Yeah, I think that's the right answer, isn't it? 6 down. A lender becoming erudite is an anagram of a lender, and that is learned, meaning erudite, which means, sort of clever, like what I'm not. 7 down. Finished some of the awkward ones. So it's part of awkward ones, DONE, meaning finished, so done. Good. Then I probably started to fill in ones where I'd got some keyed letters. Rather than just doing as I've done in the past, just gone across, and then down, down, down. I've actually started to sort of think, oh, right, well, I've got some of this, so what's the clue to this? Observe the ruler looking. So ruler would, it took me a second or two, but I thought ruler was probably king. And see king, observe the ruler, see king, meaning overall looking. 10 across, a profit once more, a gain, a profit. 11 across, I got very quickly, not a grand instrument. So it's not a grand piano, it's an upright piano. Piabo, classic. Then I might have had a little go at 4 down again. Pantyhose and shirt out of sight. Now, I've put in tights as my answer, which has an anagram of sight in there. But I don't entirely understand why. I mean, pantyhose is tights. and shirt out of sight. And I don't quite understand why it's that other bit works. I know I can see the anagram of sight, but there's a T, an extra T, and I don't entirely know where that comes from. But, you know, maybe one day I will find out. What is 8 down? Bachelor who doesn't buy MLPs. Okay, so that's going to be a single, and I ummed and ahed about what the next word would be, but I decided it would probably be person. I thought it might have to be a bloke. In fact, did I say bloke or chap? No. I thought it might have to be a male of some description because it says bachelor. But I mean, it could have been a single female. A single person works equally well for each. Then this is when I looked one up. Find a Moroccan port with an incomplete diagram somehow. So it's an incomplete diagram. So it's not all of the letters of diagram rearranged to make up a Moroccan port. And there is one called Aga. But I had to look that up, I'm afraid, because geography is one of the many things that I know almost nothing about. One exhibiting some water. Okay, so if you're exhibiting, you are showing. So if you are an exhibitor, you're a shower. And of course, a shower is a quantity of water. I suspect I then went for 17 across. Run away and get a liking for travel. And I wanted to say take to the air, but that wouldn't have quite worked. But I've got an L in there, and so I realised it was take to flight. Possibly I then did 14 down. Vein 2, about round of applause. So I think it's going to be an anagram of vein 2 because it says vein 2 about, and it means a round of applause. So that is ovation, an anagram of vein 2. What is 12 down? Makes believe before nurses. Before is pre, and it's going to be nurses as in tens. They nurse him, they tend for him, and pretends makes believe. Before, tens, nurses. Yeah, I think that works. Sorry, I had a little moment of doubt about my own ability to answer these things, of course. Korf's own armed services. Got to be an anagram of Korf's because of that apostrophe. Well, that's possessive. It could be something else. But anyway, an anagram of Korf's happens to be forces, which seems to work. What is 18 down? Wrestlers always get to them. I've got my notes and I now can't quite remember. I don't want to look at my notes, so I'll come back to it. 21 across is warn about caution. So it's an anagram of the word, oh dear, I said warn about caution. Warn about auction. And caution is an anagram of auction. Caution. Has that helped me with this one? Wrestlers always get to them. Grips. So wrestlers get to grips. You actually literally get to grips with things. That works okay. Let's try 22 across. The family that sends out of charity. The family that sends out of charity. Now then, I thought that there was an anagram of sends in there, so I thought it was going to be Ness, and there'd need to be a D because that's sends, and then family is kin, so I came up with kindness and was pretty happy about that. Possibly I'd already done 19 down, what a dog may do around tree trunks. Well, I think I went for Mark, but I'm not completely happy with that, except that 20 across, a girl could be wrong, a girl, a miss, could be wrong, and a miss means wrong. and then they may bite as an afterthought, as PS, as postscript, asps. Does that make sense? Now then, clearly something is not right because I've not been given the you have done it in however many letters thing. So I've done it in how many letters? Done it in how many minutes? So somewhere there is a mistake. So we can do check answers. Okay, so it's not Mark. What a dog. Oh, God, fathers, it's bark, isn't it? That's so annoying. That was me thinking about it being against a tree and marking it. But of course, it's going to bark next to a tree. Because otherwise it would have been a lamppost. Oh dear, that's so embarrassing. Anyway, there we go. That's my effort at the. I wasn't confident about Mark. I can remember writing it in. Yeah, I mean, I've written it in very pale on my printed out version here. But it's funny, isn't it, that the A and the K worked. Anyway, bark. That's the answer. Do I normally leave a space between mice and ilium? I think I do. So I've come fifth. Who else has done well? I bet there'll be lots of impressive people. Stephen, Binky, Al, Dave. All very good people. Annoying. Bazaar, Gordy, Boybees, Baz, SB, Catherine, Trish, Fran, and Andy. Oh, well, I hope they found it as enjoyable as I did. I reckon I did it in about 14 minutes, so I've put it in for 10 minutes now, which is, disgraceful. But it's all just a bit of fun, isn't it? See what comes along tomorrow. Farewell.